So, Deagen Fairclough on pole, Reza Seaworth and his teammate, High-Tech Pulsate team champions, by the way. Our congratulations to them. Leo Robinson, the form man of the weekend too. He lines up third from James Higgins. Then it's Alex Ninovich and Bart Harrison for Chris Dittman Racing on row 3. Fourth row, Zach Skula and Martin Molnar, the new rookie champion, the young Hungarian driver. Congratulations to him. Abby Pulling on row 5 with Rowan Campbell-Pilling. And then Ella Lloyd and Kai Darianani on the 6th row. 7th row, Yuampu Sway, second in the rookies. August Raber next up. Thomas Behrman has had a good weekend so far. He's running well in his second weekend of British F4. Yu Hao Fu is next from Nina Gabeman. And then on row 9, it is Chloe Chong. Last on the grid is Alex Berg. So here is our rookie champion. What a splendid year Martin Molnar has done. He's a great personable young lad. Done a super year, bedded himself in as a rookie at the start of the year. He wasn't really piling in those rookie podiums at the start of the season, but once he did, the podiums just kept coming, and he's got to the top of the stack and now secured the championship with a race to spare, the rookie championship.
Now, just to make this a little bit exciting, you can probably see those lines on the tarmac. Now, that is rain. That is 100% rain on the surface, and that is why the heat of the tyres are starting to make the lines in it, and we are going to have a very exciting last race for British F4 because, yeah, on slicks, in the wet, and I wouldn't be surprised if this might even get delayed.
I was going to say, Phil, yeah.
But there is a schedule, so they probably are going to start it, but this is all about who's got the most heat in the tyres on the warm-up lap. But, yeah, not going to be the most exciting as they go out the back, I don't think. Not for us to be watching and seeing these guys trying to stay on the circuit.
Little bit of a worry, isn't it? We've got one car pitting, and it's Yuampu, isn't it?
Yep, he might be coming in for wets if he thinks it's wet enough.
No huge urgency to get him sorted out, but probably a sensible decision. The wet tyres are indeed going on. The Tyre Tech team getting him busy, sorted out. Deagen Fairclough will probably like a damp race on slicks, knowing Deegs. How does Rez feel about it?
Yeah,
well, that's a lot, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, that is quite a lot of rain. I'm not sure if they are going to delay it. I mean, he's going to go wets for sure, but let's see if we can. We're going to see the start of this race. Yes, we are.
Okay, so we go. Fairclough and Seaworth on the front row of the grid. The outside of the front row, remember, challenging for third place in the championship. They all get moving. I've got to look all the way down the grid, but look at that lightning start there from James Higgins.
There's Ninovich. Ninovich has got up to second. Yeah. Higgins actually dropped back a little bit. Look at them all going off. That's Higgins gone off. That's Harrison gone off. The rest of them managed to get through. Just come on, Higgins, keep going, keep your foot planted. As you can see, they're all scrabbling around looking for grip around the outside. Deagen's got away.
If we don't get a safety car on lap 1, surely, with the conditions not really looking to abate at the moment, that is going to be a safety car, isn't it? So Higgins, who was in the shout for third position in the championship, a vital FIA super license.
Oh, Ninovich has gone straight on at Surtees. He was looking very racy indeed, but he needs to get back to the GP circuit as quickly as he can. So that is not ideal, and a few others as well. Campbell-Pilling is that, yeah. And this is the man that's going to win the race.
Well, if it carries on, we're surely going to have the safety car out for this run. And Yuampu inspired a little bit of timing from him to come in. We'll see how it goes. Can he, though, on treaded tyres, if we don't get a safety car, beat Fairclough on slicks?
Yeah. I mean, he shouldn't he? But yeah, it depends how much rain there is. It depends if it was a quick shower. Depends who got heat in the tyres. It depends if it's going to quickly clean up, which it looks like it's not too bad right now. As you can see, there's Ella Lloyd as well defending her position as she goes through. Dingledale, sorry, the Sheen, Campbell-Pilling's gone round as well, and Ella Lloyd's gone wide. Safety car is out.
Yeah, unsurprising here. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a red. The one track to me where if you send the cars out on dry tyres in the wet, where you're going to look how far ahead Fairclough is in the wet, and how has he managed that lap?
And he was going really slowly out that last corner there. Oh, you can see now he's just trying to generate some heat as the tyres. But yeah, safety car is out. This is all about trying to keep as much heat in the tyres, but there's a red flag. I think we're all going to go wet.
You know, when you speak to Deagen, he'll say, yeah, I was loving that, I was just really enjoying it. You know what Deagen's like?
Yeah, he would be.
Why did they... Sensible decision, right thing to do. The organisers had a go at getting the cars out. It's about putting on a show, of course, as much as anything else. but it wasn't to be. So red flag conditions, we will wait to hear from race control what happens. A couple of cars already in pit lane. We've got the likes of Alex Berg in pit lane as well. Higgins presumably won't be able to benefit from that if there's a restart. He's off, he caused the stoppage. Here's the start.
Yeah, you can see Ninovich got an amazing start, all the way from fifth to second. But it was all undone as he got to turn 4 and went straight on. But yeah, you can see the big lock up there from Higgins, and that took Harrison out as well. There was no contact, but it just gave him no alternative but to go straight on. And yeah, you can see Harrison, he's managed to stay on the circuit, but Higgins is absolutely pinned there, trying to get as much traction as he can to stay out of the gravel.
I love the way you can see there, Ninovich's car was pointing uphill, wasn't it? He knew that he was going to, in the event of getting a decent launch, which he did, make up a couple of places. But yeah, apologies to him for calling him Higgins on the original start. That's how good it was. Into Paddock Hill Bend, there is Harrison, manages to get it back on track very quickly, but Higgins just too far over into the gravel to be able to make it back out on circuit.
He just locked up. You can just see again at further back, Higgins just locked to front right, and that was it. He was a passenger and went straight on. But it's such a shame. There's us working out all these points, and there's only 2.5 points between those two. It was Higgins and Seaworthen who were battling for third in the championship. And yeah, I mean, the only thing that Higgins can hope for now is for Seaworthen not to finish this race. But yeah, because it's 2.5 in Higgins' favour at the minute.
It is. Reza has still got to try and get the point. So what I'm guessing will happen is that the cars will be gridded up, be the opportunity with official sanction given for people to come onto the track and be able to change the tyres. When there's a change of conditions, Phil, there's Starion Arnie, isn't it, in the pit lane, having work done on his car. Driver that's developed well this year, second season driver, hasn't got much car racing experience before, as we've said before.
He's not actually changed his tyres though, so no. The thing is, it's not actually wet enough for wets, but it's not dry enough for slicks, so it's a tricky one. I don't know what, I think they're going to have to declare it a wet race to make them all go on to wets, but they're all in the pits, all going for probably a tyre change.
Yeah, that's because I said they would be gridded up, but thank you for that. And this is where the kit, you very often in these single-seater races, obviously the F4 drivers and teams don't get the garages, rightly they go with the BTCC outfit. So there's an awful lot of kit that has to be hauled from the paddock, and it's a fair old trek, isn't it, from the lower paddock here at Brands Hatch out into the pit lane for the guys to carry through, and then a lot of work to make the changes. But this is exactly the reason why all that kit does get carried through.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And for some teams it's 4 sets.
Okay, so red flag conditions here, work going on in pit lane. We're going to take a short break. Join us in just a couple of minutes, hopefully for the resumption. We'll see you in a moment or two. A very warm welcome back to Brands Hatch. Well, a wet welcome back actually to Brands Hatch, because we had a little smattering. It's not really a downpour as such, but enough moisture on the track to cause some issues for the F4 runners. Round 30 of the championship was on circuit. We had James Higgins in the gravel. We reckon James might be taking the grid.
It looks that way. Null and void that start was, so it looks like we're going back to the original grid, which brings back the maths that we did earlier, and it's 2.5 points between third and fourth, which is Higgins and Seaworthen, and that's the big story at the minute. We've got the championship winner, Deagen Fairclough, and we've got second, which is Ninovich. We've got the teams, which is High Tech, and we've got Molnar, who is the rookie champion. So it's all about who is got the final step on the podium for the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting, I'm guessing, a shortened race. Obviously, we've got some very, very important races to come. We've got another mini race. We've got the Carrera Cup Great Britain finale and the big touring car championship final as well. So the cars get 5 minutes to sort their tyres out. Normally when there's a changing condition, we might see an extra green flag lap so that they can acquaint themselves with the conditions. But then the race organisers may well also decide that with the lap that they had, they may be aware of what's going. So some of them looking to start on slicks. The choice is there, Phil.
It looks that way, doesn't it? Because it's obviously just a quick downpour. It wasn't really wet enough for wet, so some teams are just going to go for the gamble of slicks. And this is Berg, who is starting at the back of the grid, so he may as well take that gamble and go for slicks, especially if that rain has stopped. and the track quickly dries. Now, it is very cold here, so will it dry quick enough? I don't think there was enough rain to make it wet enough, so this is going to be an interesting one.
It is. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. So imagine this is you. You've raced at Brands Hatch. You beat Lewis Hamilton here, as I keep reminding you. What would be your decision?
I would go with whoever I'm fighting the championship with, because it's a fair fight.
If I was interesting one.
If I was at the front running with the other guys for the championship, I'd go the same as them.
Yep.
If I was at the back,
but what if they were waiting for you? Who then takes the lead on that decision?
Exactly.
That's conundrum, isn't it?
If I was further back and I had nothing to lose, I would go for the gamble, which is what Berg is doing.
Rez is on wets.
He's gone wets. I think his teammate has also gone wets. I think it's probably the wiser choice at this stage.
Fairclough won't care what he's on.
No.
I mean that. His mum and dad know I'm pulling his leg, but you know.
He looked like he was having a good time on that.
He was perfectly happy on slicks. Yeah, never mind. What do we need this treaded stuff for?
Yeah.
Talking of Reza, by the way, as you know, this morning I was trying to get a Phil Glue story from Reza. Shall I keep you on tenterhooks on that one?
What
He's
lies?
too nice, he said. There aren't any. He said, none that you can broadcast, Rich.
Yeah, that's more like it.
So it's been a great cohort this year. All of the drivers from. Thank you to F4 for their organisation this year. They had, I've mentioned it a couple of times, they did an introduction day at Bicester headquarters, MS UK headquarters at the start of the year, where we got to meet most of the drivers, and it's lovely to sit down across the table and have a chat and a coffee with the drivers, and just informally, away from the racetrack. It's so nice to gauge the personalities. Drivers like Zach Schooler, who's here, XL Motorsport for the first time, and it was a bit of a story with me and Zach. We got to Bicester and we couldn't work out which door to go in. We found it out in the end. He was here with his uncle that particular occasion, but little things like that at the start of the season, just really good way of getting to know the drivers away from the circuit.
He's done a great job, like the whole team, XL and him, and obviously Raber's done certain rounds, but Schooler's been very impressive this year, and it'd be nice to see him back again next year. I'm not sure what he's going to be doing, I'm not sure what XL are going to be doing, but it's a fantastic job. They obviously did the UAE Championship at the start of the year, did a good job in that, alongside High Tech, who also did that just to get their drivers up to speed and teach them how to start, teach them how to qualify. Obviously Deagen is a second-year driver anyway, so he knew what he was doing, but some of the other drivers who just needed that extra practice, that winter series, like they call it, is fantastic in the UAE, and I think there's another one going on in Spain at the start of next year. So it never stops now. There's so much racing that goes on. You never get a break from it. There's always more learning. Everyone's trying to improve and get better, ready for their championship assault. But Schooler definitely one to watch for the future.
Only got 2 cars on slick, so the rest of them are treaded up and ready to go. It's going to be an interesting race for sure.
Yes, it's like I said, I think it's probably going to quickly dry now. So slicks is not a bad shout, because it might not be great to start with, especially when you go through the GP section where it's going to be under the trees and a little bit slippery. But I think it will pay them back later on in the race.
Let's hope so. Alex Berg gave us a nice thumbs up and fingers crossed, didn't he, when he was sitting in the car down in pit lane. Race winner this year, son of Alan Berg, of course, the ex-Formula 1 driver, and a great little character as well, Berg. He was, again, one of the drivers that was there at the launch day, and always happy to have a little natter, and very professional. It's amazing how, I'm not saying the UK European drivers aren't, but the American and Canadian drivers, when they come, the transatlantic drivers, just have that little edge of professionalism when they're doing the interviews, and you could call it corporate in some ways, but it's smart, and it's always great to enjoy that. But that's the joy of F4, so cosmopolitan with the different countries that we've got involved, sending their drivers over to come and race. And amazing that the UK, this is, as I've mentioned many times, is born out of Formula Ford back in the day. We've got the festival here in a couple of weeks' time, the Gerrit von Cowen Remembrance Festival. Gerrit won it 40 years ago. So many great drivers have come through this level, and remember, Formula Ford was with the slicks and wings in the previous guise of these, and it's just wonderful that we still have all of these drivers from across the globe coming to race in the UK. The tracks are respected, the teams are respected, and it is the place to come and launch your career.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's another FIA championship for drivers to try and get those very valuable FIA points for their super license. which is vital now. You know, there's drivers that can't drive in Formula 1 or Formula E or you know, anything of that sort of high spec, where if you don't have the points, you can't do it. So you've actually got to get, I think it's 40 points to get into Formula 1, and you get 12 if you win this championship. So you're well on your way to getting those points to get into Formula 1 eventually.
The great thing is that one of the many takeaways for F4 is, as you say, it's on all year, so we can follow what some of these drivers will do over in the Emirates, over in the winter. We'll pick up the new drivers coming into that as well, and we'll follow drivers up into maybe GB3, either in the UK or in Europe. And there's so many drivers you have to keep a tally on now, and fascinating to watch. Even more so when you've got the opportunity, you know, to have met the drivers at the track. I had a couple of race fans come up to me yesterday and said, one of the things that you, Paul and Phil, always say is, thanks for watching, and we do thank everyone for watching, but when you get the chance, come down to your local track and watch it for real and meet the drivers.
Yep.
And a few people said to me over the last couple of weeks, we've done that. And it is a wonderful thing to come out to a racetrack, and then in this day and age, of course, with streaming, you can watch it back when you get in.
Yeah. Or just come and watch it, then you don't have to listen to us.
I don't want to say that. There's Deagen Fairclough, and what a year he has had. As you said, 15 poles out of 20 possibles. Obviously 10 reverse grid races don't count for poles, but he has really laid down a marker. Start of the year, I kind of thought it was going to be between Deegan's, maybe Rez, Abby pulling. Abby's, of course, always had the intention of a dual campaign with the F1 Academy.
Yeah, she's leading that.
She is leading that very, very convincingly. And, of course, some of the other girls that we've got racing here have been out in the academy and done so well indeed, which, as you rightly pointed out to me a couple of rounds ago, shows how strong this championship is. Yeah,
it certainly does. Obviously, with Ella Lloyd having some good results in it, and
Gateman did well too.
Gateman, yeah, exactly, and pulling obviously has definitely destroyed the field this year in F1 Academy. But yeah, it'd be great to see what she goes on to next.
Maybe another Jamie Chadwick. Jamie's done well, had an IndyCar test, and reading the reports of that, thoroughly impressed everybody. Yeah,
she did, definitely. Yeah, she's been very impressive for many years now, and she has definitely made a breakthrough this year in America.
And it was the technical side as well. I know that Jamie impressed with the feedback that she gave the engineers reading the reports that came through, and that wasn't just PR, was it? That was, you know, real good comments from her. Jamie, of course, in terms of this paddock, coming through from Janetta Junior, we've got our own TOCA Junior Championship, which we're looking forward to next year. The car's on display here. I met a youngster this morning who's done a handshake on, he's going to be too young to race at the start of next year, youngster called Thomas Potter, but he's done a handshake with Graves Motorsport, who've got the first team to put the order in to race at this event next year.
Okay.
So we've got drivers talking to Graves about racing. Can't wait to see the juniors next year. But anyway, back to F4. What can Berg do here with his tyre gamble?
Yeah, exactly. There's a few, I think 3 or 4 that are on slicks. It does look a bit wetter than I first thought, but the one thing that I was just wondering is, will they get 2 green flag laps? Now, change of conditions normally means that you have to have 2 green flag laps, but we are running out of time. We've already done 1 start, but we do need the drivers to have heat in the tyres to make this more for safety. So I'm assuming we will get 2 green flag laps and then a full standing start.
Sometimes the race organisers will pop in the clock ticking from the green flag laps, but it doesn't look like they've done that. We've got 18 minutes on the clock, so I'm guessing the timing wise the pressure is not huge at the moment. One thing we would say, of course, is that if there is another incident, it's likely to be an old race because of the timing, so they've all kind of got to behave themselves. Yeah, or if they do enough laps, then there will be some more half points. But yeah, we've not had a good run recently. With Silverstone obviously being moved over to this round of Brands, which was done yesterday, and then obviously the half points from earlier. I just want to have a full race now, don't you? Yeah, very much so. I blame the people in the paddock that were saying to me, we haven't had any rain this weekend. Thank you, guys.
Yep, now.
Zach Schuyler on slicks.
Yeah, he is, and obviously Berg, and I think I remember seeing one other on slicks as well, maybe another Fortec car. But yeah, the others all on wets, so that is going to make life a lot easier, especially at the start of the race.
Favourite part of this track, GP track? I haven't got an onboard for you to talk around, but what's your favourite bit of the GP circuit?
Good question. It's there's a lot of fast right-handers. As you go through Surtees, which is off the Indy circuit, onto the GP, you then come to a very quick right-hander, Hawthorns, then you get Westfield, then you get Sheen, all those right-handers are quite exciting. The blind one's pretty good because, you know, you've just got to send it in over the inside curb and pretty much hope for the best.
And they
hope the car grips, yeah. But no, it's absolutely fantastic out the back. The Indy circuit's good as well. You know, it's great for spectators and it's fantastic for drivers, especially Paddock Hill Bend, where it's very bumpy on the entry to the corner, and then it cambers, and then it sort of falls down, and then you get a load of understeer, and then you come back up the hill, and it's really challenging. It's a really challenging circuit.
Built into the natural contours of the land here in Kent. Ran anti-clockwise originally, the old Indy circuit did, but maybe they should do it at Rockingham. When Rockingham comes back, run it clockwise instead of anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's for another day. We've got the last F4 race of the season ready to go with Deagen Fairclough, Reza Seaworthen looking for second place in the championship. Leo Robinson lines up P3, James Higgins P4. So the battle for third in the championship on the outside of the front two roads, away they go, and it's a great start again, this time by Leo Robinson, who gets up into second position. Seaworthen a little bit slow, and Higgins is looking round the outside of him. Ninovich on the inside as they clip the apex there at Paddock Hill Bend, but it's Fairclough, the champion, who leads away, but he's coming under pressure here, Phil.
Yeah, Leo Robinson got a great start there. Now you can see Reza Seaworthen going down the inside of Robinson, but no, he's still in third. He got away lightly there with the two roading cars who went either side of him going into turn one, but now Ninovich and Higgins have both dropped back, so that's given Seaworthen a bit of a breather so that now he can attack Leo Robinson, which is his old teammate from last year in Ginetta Juniors. So let's see if he can get a good run on him coming out of Surtees. Deegan's got a good lead there, but Leo looks racy.
Leo does look handy. He's found a little extra few BHP, I think, so far this weekend. Higgins has not had the best of it. Certainly no roaded team orders, either, with Ninovich getting well up ahead of him. Higgins on the inside run there. Also in the mix, Darian Arney, number 8 car for Fortec, but it's Fairclough out front. Seaworthen in P2. There is Higgins, working hard.
That's Pulling as well behind him, so Pulling has got a good run there, and Higgins has managed to get back past her. Darian Arney's there with them as well, but yeah, Ninovich has managed to get up to fourth. So yeah, it's Robinson that's going to be on the charge to try and get this win. He had a win yesterday. Can he get another one today, or is Deagen going to just pull away? It doesn't look like it. Looks like Leo is taking it to Deagen.
Yeah, the thing Leo wants now, he's had 3 reverse grid race wins, and as great as they are, he'll want to take one from fastest off the front. Had a really good qualifying. Look at the camera, it's tricky conditions out there, but it's Fairclough who goes across the line. Robinson second, Seaworthen still in third. Bart Harrison having a look here.
Yeah,
so Harrison
done that.
Makes
Great
the move. Good move from Bart Harrison. Again, an ascendant driver, Bart Harrison, for me.
Yes, certainly is, and it looks like the roading cars are just struggling a little bit at the start of this race. Maybe it'll come back to them when they get a bit more heat in the tyres. Maybe that's the way that they've gone with the setup. But Harrison now up to fourth, past Ninovich, who has definitely secured second in the championship. So see if Harrison can now do something to chase down Seaworthen.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'd be great for Chris Dittman Racing to get up onto the podium, but at the moment he's going to be worried, looking in his mirrors at Alex Ninovich right behind him as we pick up.
Slicks are not being great to them at the minute, are they? They're struggling for grip.
Yeah, Scooter and Berg.
Maybe it is going to get better.
We hope so for them, but out front, I think it's working well for Fairclough, who's got pretty much the same sort of lead he had really on the slick tyre for the aborted start that we had earlier on. So Fairclough, your leader. Robinson still in second place here. This is Lloyd coming under pressure from Abby Pulling, or the other way around. Actually, Lloyd putting the pressure on Pulling.
Yeah, she certainly was, but Pulling's managed to keep hold of that one. And now we've got Behrman in there as well, haven't we? That's he's
Thomas
had
a
good first few laps. He's in 12th at the minute, so yeah, he's definitely improving. I can't wait to see what he can do when he comes back next year.
Is he coming back to British F4?
I hope so, yeah, because he's done these few rounds just to get his eye in and just to learn a little bit. But he did a round in Euro 4 at Red Bull Ring. He obviously did Silverstone and now Brands. So yeah, I'd love to see him back because he's definitely one to watch as well. Here we go. We got Ninovich trying to squeeze Harrison. Harrison manages to keep down the inside, but Ninovich has got the grippier part of the circuit, so he has now pulled in front of Harrison, but Harrison's coming back to him into Druids.
Yeah, Bart Harrison making the move up into car racing from karts. A good little character was Bart. I haven't spoken to him too much in the latter stages of the season, but was very keen start of the year to have some good chats, and this is the move. It doesn't quite come off, but full Full marks for effort here.
Yeah, he tried to squeeze him there, didn't he? He was on the left-hand side. He's squeezed him a little bit, but then you can see the normal line has had a lot of rubber laid onto it, which is where Harrison was, and the grippier part of the circuit is off the normal line on the outside, which is where Ninovic was, and that allowed him just to have the drive and the traction to get past him.
Seaworthen starting to get the measure of Robinson. This is the two cars we're looking at here. So Robinson for JHR goes through, Seaworthen chasing him, but Harrison drops back a wee bit now. Higgins starting to get in his stride a little bit. Darian Arney's impressing me here as well in 7th.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's on a mission there, isn't he? He's chasing down Higgins, which Higgins really needs to get on terms of the guys in front of him, because he needs to take the fight to his main championship rival, which is Reza Seaworthen. So with Higgins down in 6th and Seaworthen in 3rd, that means Seaworthen is going to end up taking 3rd in the championship if it stays as it is.
Yeah, he will. The closer they get together, the more difficult it is to juggle the mathematics. But at the moment, he's clearly Seaworthen with the points provisionally to get in 3rd position in the championship, and he doesn't want a 1-2 for the team unless he is the number 1 for it. But the gap, 4.81 seconds to this battle, and they won't be doing themselves any favours in terms of catching the leader by squabbling with each other. But it looks like Robinson is starting to be challenged now by Seaworthen having a good go.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see coming off the GP circuit, Seaworthen was slightly quicker, but you can see a battle further back here with Gaidman and is that Campbell Pilling?
It is, yeah.
Who are fighting as they come out of turn 1 into turn 2, but Campbell Pilling has come off best there.
He is. Rowan already not officially confirmed, but he said to us that he'll be back next year, so that's good enough for me.
I see this battle once again, as you can see Campbell Pilling lining up the move, throws it down the inside, going into paddock. He's on the slipperier part of the circuit, but Gaidman gave plenty of room, had plenty of grip. Campbell Pilling left enough room there, but yeah, had the inside line going into T2.
Good stuff from those guys, dicing for 14th and 15th place at the moment. Higgins and Bart Harrison. So Harrison in P5 at the moment. He's lost touch with Ninovic, hasn't he? So it's Fairclough, Robinson, Seaworthen, Ninovic, then these two. And Higgins must be very frustrated. He sort of, the season started to come back to him, didn't it? With was it Donington Park?
Yes.
Where he, bagged a couple of wins.
Yep.
Started to look, and he'd been scoring well.
Yep.
Obviously, you're not 3rd in the championship without scoring well, but just had those edgier results right up at the sharp end, which put him in good stead to bring him into this weekend in with a shout of 3rd place. Indeed, came in to this weekend in 3rd position in the championship, but the races just haven't quite played out for him.
Yeah, it's 100%. The qualifying was important here because it's difficult to overtake. So unfortunately, Higgins was on a lap. He was on a very good lap in qualifying, but didn't quite manage to finish. I think that maybe the red flag came out, but yeah, he was. Oh, someone's off there. Foo's gone off for Virtuosi. I think that's Paddock, is it?
Yeah.
Or was that last corner? That's the last corner.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Clearways, isn't it? Fu not fighting anymore, very sadly, so he is in the gravel.
Another one.
Yeah. Do you know what? Safety car at least, red flag possibly.
Maybe. There's 2 cars to clear up here now, so let's see if we are. Well, I'm pretty certain we're going to get a safety car, because there's 2 dangerous positions there, with the last corner for Fu and at Druids for... who's that?
August Raber.
Raber, yeah. Raber is off at Druids.
There's no Raber party tonight, and Fu no longer fighting. There'll be your headlines on Monday morning. No, they won't, but there we go. Yeah, so safety car, close them all up. Once we get past the... Well, we're going for half distance, aren't we, for half points, really? So remember, this is 18 minutes. Once we get to 9 minutes, if there's another incident, things will get probably red flag. But a 6-second lead was what Deagen Fairclough had. Here is the 18-year-old from Smallfield in Surrey, well clear. And I've actually lost count of the race wins. Was it 13 coming into the weekend? So was it 14th, 15th win now?
Yeah, he's definitely been the dominant one out there, and yeah, that's the new record as well. He beat that at Silverstone, didn't he? Yeah. So
he's actually had coaching from Jamie Caroline over the time he's been in F4 as well, hasn't he?
And he used to have the record for the amount of wins.
He did, yeah.
So yeah, no, he coached him last year when he was at JHR, and yeah, he's done an amazing job this year with High Tech for the championship assault. And all those records along the way. So, yeah, fair play to Fairclough. He's hopefully going to be going up to, probably with their GB3 team, the high-tech GB3 team. So we'll see him.
Is that the official announcement? Or was it?
Probably wasn't supposed to say that, was I?
A big, we saw briefly the marshals helping out there, and a big thanks to all our marshals here on a super job. Pleasure to have a little natter with them in the paddock earlier on today. There's some of the paddock marshals as well. Of course, not just trackside marshals in the paddock as well. And a big thank you to all of them for all their efforts.
I was going to say, fair play to the marshals who got to Sherwood as quickly as they did. I've seen the onboard of that accident, and and it was a horrible accident where something obviously failed. He went over, rolled a few times, landed on the other side of the barrier, but the marshal was there within probably 5 seconds. Which I was massively impressed with, because you know, obviously they've just witnessed that massive crash, and then they've gone straight over to the driver to make sure Sherwood was okay, which he was, but he wasn't allowed to race. The car was in a big mess. So yeah, again, just shows how strong these things are.
Good shout here from Zach Schooler. He was obviously around at the back, took the gamble on the slicks, didn't work, but the safety car and a long lap here means that both he and Alan Berg can get back out on track, which is good to see. What they'll do once the safety car comes in, we'll find out after this short break. Please stay with us. Hello again, we're back at Brands Hatch, still behind safety car, so you haven't missed a thing here, apart from the cars exiting the pit lane that have changed tyres. Alex Berg and Zach Schooler, who are now 16th and 17th position. Interesting to watch the safety car. Deagen Fairclough was very close to him, wasn't he?
Yeah. It reminds me of the old, in the 90s, the Formula 1 cars were obviously a lot quicker anyway than the safety car, but the safety cars back then were so slow, and they were always hassling the safety car to go faster. So it reminds me of Deagen trying to do this to this Porsche, which I'm sure this Porsche could go a little bit quicker, but obviously for safety reasons around the cars that have gone off,
that's the whole point, isn't it?
You've got to go slower. Yeah. But I do get it. Like, you need heat in the tyres for when the race goes green again.
But it's the same for all of them, though, isn't it?
Well, exactly, yeah.
We were looking at Deagen's fastest lap as well, weren't we? 1:35.9.
It's amazing.
And
the next
only
best,
one other driver was in 1:36.
36.9 as well. So yeah, that's a second quicker than anyone on the circuit at this point. So yeah, he's definitely on it in any condition.
Race fans, you know, I think the weather, they knew was going to get a little bit of a shower, but some great fans here that we always get at Brands Hatch. Lovely change them on. Hey, here we are, lads.
It doesn't look too bad, does it? Not everyone's got their umbrella up, and it's obviously only just drizzling slightly, which is clearly making the track very wet and slippery. But yeah, the fans are still loving it. That's a better place to be, isn't it? Back of the van, making sure you're keeping dry.
Is that South Bank, is it? I think it's
so.
Probably South Bank, because you can come in here and park your car on the banking and get a really good view of the racing action. Outside, no, particularly not.
No, not
Poor
ideal.
old Foo, that's a shame.
Yes, yeah, he's obviously keeping his helmet on to keep his hair dry.
Nice if you got hair, isn't it, to be able to have that problem.
Yeah.
And Phil has
yeah.
incidentally, by the way. We didn't do Comcam today, but Phil does have a full head at the moment.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll change soon. Hasn't been great yet either. Which
You're all right. No, well, yeah. Anyway, safety car is coming in, which is going to be good news, as Berg and Schooler. Is that a good safety car lap? Hammering it around, trying to get on the back of the field to get in the points if they can.
You are allowed to do that. You are supposed to go as fast as you can to catch up the safety car, which they will do now, because obviously Fairclough is backing it all up, keeping it nice and slow, and the other guys will catch up. They just need to be aware that they are going a lot slower than the speed that they're doing now. But let's see what sort of restart Fairclough can do. He's gone already. That's a great restart so far. He's just got to obviously make sure he carries this on into the last corner, but a very good restart, and the same for Seaworthy all over the back of Leo Robinson. So let's see if they all scramble through the last corner. You can see Leo's gone a bit wide there, so that means they can't overtake, but that means it's given Ninovic a very good run. He's gone side by side, but he can't pass him until he goes over the line. I'm not sure if you're allowed to go side by side, but Ninovic is on a mission there. He's gone round the outside, need to make sure they don't make any contact, but now Ninovic it's gone all the way up to third, and Reza Seaworthy then down to fourth.
Yeah, I need to keep our eyes on Higgins and the Abacus as well here in the comms box for that third place in the championship. But Ninovic here, remember, he was so quick off that first start. He obviously likes cold tyres, doesn't he?
Yeah, and I can see there maybe is a bit of team orders here. You can see Ninovic is back in Seaworthen into the CDR car, which straight behind the CDR car is his teammate Higgins. So this might get very tasty with 1 minute and 42 to go.
Yeah, not really going to be time, is there, for Higgins to do too much at the moment. Seaworthen in 4th, Higgins in 6th. 4th place, Phil, is 12 points, 6 is 8, so it's 4 points. It's nip and tuck, matey.
It's close, isn't it? It's very close.
What did we say, 3.5 points?
2.5. There's 2.5 between them, yeah. So Higgins could really do with doing something special soon. Getting past the CDR car is the first thing, and then he'll be right behind his championship rival. But I think Ninovic is checked out, and he's managing to chase down Leo Robinson. So let's see if there's any more action with a minute to go.
It's incredible stuff. So they come out of Stirling, head down in towards Clearways. Now, are we going to see a move from Higgins? He, I guess, would have done the maths. He's looking on the inside run. It's going to be very slippery there. He's got a second bite of the cherry. Remember, he was in the gravel for the first restart and is looking on the inside. Bart Harrison won't want to lose championship points, but the door's open.
It is, yeah. You can see now he's kept that door open all the way into paddock, but now Harrison goes wide. He's outbraked himself. He's gone wide. That now brings Higgins up to 5th place. So now it's very close between the guys that are fighting for 3rd in the championship.
2 points in it from this race now, Phil.
2 points, yeah. So it's 3 points between them.
Yeah.
2.5 points as we stand. So at the minute, Seaworthen is half a point in front, but now we're starting to see Ninovic starting to play the game of the team orders potentially, but he is going with Leo Robinson. Seaworthen is behind him. I think this means it's a half point, am I right?
It was 257 to 259.5, so it was 2.5 points.
Yeah.
And the gap here, remember, between the points, Seaworthen 4th position gets 12 points for this one.
Yeah.
And Higgins gets 10.
Is that right?
So Higgins
takes it.
Higgins is going to take it.
Oh wow, this is the closest we've had in a while. I mean, I know it's for 3rd in the championship, but yeah, you're right. I think it's 4th, but I think it needed to be 3rd and 4th, the difference between the guys for then Reza to overtake. But
yeah, but 4th and 5th.
Yeah, and this is I believe this is the last lap.
Yeah, the graduation and points is bigger for being on the podium, isn't it? Success-wise, as Darren Arney goes out of shot, still running in 7th place. But again, it's going to be our champion who signs off in appropriate style. Deagen Fairclough takes the win. Look at the gap that he's got. 2nd position will go to Leo Robinson, who gets it. Ninovic is next up. Seaworthen 4th. Gets the better of Higgins, but we think Higgins has just nicked that 3rd place on the championship with Bart Harrison going off. He forced Harrison into the mistake. Higgins will be thanking his lucky stars that he was allowed to regrid after that red flag for the first iteration of the race.
He got, that was a completely restart of the race. It was null and void, they said, and he was allowed to come back into it. So yeah, I think you're right. That is so close. Yeah,
it is. That's what the ROKiT F4 British Championship, certified by FIA, is all about. You know, not all of these drivers are going to make it to F1, but many of them stand a very, very good chance and would be deserving drivers to get up to the top levels of single-seater motorsport. Many of them we may see at the top levels in sports car racing as well. Sometimes you spear off and go into top-level sports car racing as well. We look forward to that. Round 30 of the championship. Deagen Fairclough takes another win, signs off in style, as too does Leo Robinson, who gets a P2 in the fastest off the front race, adding to his win yesterday. Alex Ninovic completes the podium. Reza Seaworthen 4th, did all he could in that race, but James Higgins was right behind him in 5th. Kai Darinani next up. Yuampu Sway lost out on the rookie title in race 3 of the weekend, but he takes the rookie win. Abby Pulling was 8th, Ella Lloyd right behind her in 9th place, and Tom Behrman betters his result from earlier on, gets 2nd position in the rookies and wraps up our overall top 10 here. 11th and 3rd, completing the rookie podium, is Rowan Campbell-Pilling. Alex Berg had a great drive once he got on the wet tyres and came through for 12th. Rookie champion Martin Molnar next up from Nina Gateman. Bart Harrison is classified as 15th. Zach Skula made some progress on his treaded tyres too. Then it was Chloe Chong August Raber and Yu Hao Fu, very sadly, as we saw, having a few issues through the race. So championship standings, Deagen Fairclough, record wins. Is it record points? Need to probably check that out as well. We've had a couple of half pointers, so possibly not. But Fairclough the champion. Alex Ninovich second from James Higgins. Look at the gap between Higgins and Seaworth, and it was so close. Jack Sherwood next up. The rookies, headed by Martin Molnar from Yampu Sway, and Rowan Campbell, Pilling and Bart Harrison fourth. Zach Skula, then Yu Hao Fu wrapping up our top 6.